The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
All right, well, welcome OPTAVIA. My name is Susan LaBelle. I am an independent certified OPTAVIA coach, and I am so excited about our community time tonight. We are diving into element 6, which is on your path to a healthy weight. I love the word path. Path feels kind of broad. It's not a tightrope of healthy weight. It doesn't mean there's no allowance for misstep, but it's what is the path that you get to create. And so I want to start with sharing a little bit of my story. So you can see the difference of these two pictures. When I say this is last weekend, so this is really as before and now as it gets, y'all. But I can remember, I really did think that if I lost 35 pounds, my whole world would change. And in many ways it did. But I was very focused on weight loss being like this destination, like the kind of the final, right? Like a racing through at the end. But what I found the decade prior to that is every time I would hit that, right? The only thing I knew was old habits and behaviors. And really what I felt like was like a dog chasing its tail. Like I was in a very cyclical, like kind of structure that wasn't serving me. And what I was exposed to when I had a coach and a community and a structure and a system was I reached a healthy weight, and then I was asked, well, what's next? And I was exposed to a new structure of I could set new goals and I could actually create health. And I felt like I was now on this ladder where I could set new goals and new goals. And over the course of the last decade, you don't see the transformation of the healthy minds and the healthy emotions and the healthy relationships, but all that is reflected with that initial decision to create a healthier body and then just stay in structure, stay plugged into the community, and keep contending for my health. And so I want to encourage you guys as we're talking about reaching and maintaining a healthy weight, that it is the most important gift you can give yourself. Right now in the state of the world, when I think about what's going on, it's the most important thing you can do for you right now. It's really an incredible gift you can give to the people that you love and the people around you. But it is the foundation of optimal health and well-being. Reaching a healthy weight. Now, we all know maybe people that are at a healthy weight but not healthy, but being at a healthy weight is part of being healthy. You guys kind of get that? And so I want to ask you guys, and please share in the chat, why is being healthy important to you? And I wrote down a few things that came to mind today because I was just journaling that out. I got some time on my hands. Like, why is reaching a healthy weight important to me? I mean, first, I want to live longer. Like I do. I want to be around for my grandkids' kids. Like that excites me. I want a quality of life. I want to be productive. I want to lower my risk for disease. I don't want to be on medications I don't have to be on. I want to stay active. And I added a new one today because in a world where anything could happen, me taking personal responsibility and being the dominant force in my life and creating health for me, like right now, I know I'm doing everything I can to lower my risk for what could happen. And I'm so, so, so grateful that I've had the tools and the system to create that. And so why is reaching a healthy weight important to you? So here's our agenda. We're going to go right into mindset, which is like my love language here, understanding the difference between dieting versus creating a healthy weight. We're going to talk on the skill sets in this area, really using our body mass index and waist circumference to assess your current weight management phase. So we're going to go into that And then we're going to get right into some action, baby, because we want to identify your current reality and structure your path to a healthy weight. So it's going to be a really exciting 30 minutes. We're looking forward to it. But first, we want to know who's here. First of all, like, you're going to see a little poll pop up. Did everyone kind of see that? Yeah? Pretty cool, right? We're so fancy. But which answer best describes you? Are you A, an OPTAVIA coach, B, an OPTAVIA client, or C, a guest? So please answer the poll. It'll stay up on your screen for the moment. Really, all are welcome. So welcome. And some of you are like all of the above, right? So we're excited that you're here. And what we're digging into tonight is your transformational system, our Habits of Health transformational system. It is your LifeBook. It is your Habits of Health, book, and your Habits of Health app. And what I love right now is some of us have maybe said, I just haven't had time to do all that self-coaching. I just haven't had time to get into my LifeBook. Y'all, I don't know about you, but there's a good portion of us that have a little bit more time to actually create and do something for ourselves, a little bit more time to journal, a little bit more time to be self-reflective, a little bit more time to dive into this area of our life. And so how exciting is that all the tools are right in your hands. So let's get into mindset. First of all, we don't go on a diet, right? We change our habits and create a healthy lifestyle. Let's talk about dieting. I mentioned that was me for a decade. And really, when I think back, it was a very emotional response for me. And for many, it is. It's like we're looking to fix a problem, right? We're trying to run from what we don't want. And it was always like when I would start that diet would be because someone would say something, or I would see a picture and I didn't like what I saw, or my favorite jeans didn't fit, and it would be like, I'm starting tomorrow, or I'm starting Monday. So it was always in response to some emotion, and I was running from something. And the problem with fixing a problem is when you fix a problem, you don't create anything. Nothing gets created from fixing a problem. So there's a fundamental shift with what we're doing through our transformational system, is not focusing on what you don't want, but focusing on what you want to create. It's fundamentally a different structure to create long-term health and well-being. And so when I think of the word create, I looked it up today. Not that I didn't know what it meant, but I'm like, what does it mean at its core? And the first definition I came across was to bring into existence. And I love that. Like, we're creators. Did you know you're a creator? Did you know you can create and bring into existence health for you? Be empowered by that. Be empowered by that tonight, that you can create a healthy lifestyle. The other definition that jumped out at me was to cause something to happen as a result of one's actions. So we can take action, right? We can create habits and behaviors, and there will be results from that. And we can cause something to happen in our life, i.e. health, i.e. long-term longevity and optimization. And so shifting from this mentality of running from something to what I actually want to create in my life, and being empowered with being a creator of a healthy lifestyle is that fundamental mindset shift that is kind of the core of this whole, like, laying that foundation of really this path towards creating a healthy weight management and beyond. So I would love to know, and we're going to share the answers to this poll here shortly, but what do you say to people when they ask you what you're doing? A, I'm dieting to lose weight. B, I'm doing OPTAVIA. Or C, I have a coach and I'm learning new habits to sustain long-term health. So as you guys are choosing between one of those three answers, please, just answer and poll, and no judgment. I love it. We're like this is like a no judgment community. We just want you to feel seen and heard. And if you're, feeling like, oh, how interesting, I say that, and I wish I was saying that, because our words have so much power, and how we think about what we're doing really does matter. And so I'm hoping tonight there's a little bit of awareness and awakening in that area. So I want to introduce to you my friend, Marcus Cole, out in Dallas, Texas. He's going to share kind of his mindset transition shift in this area. It's been, I don't want to steal his thunder, so I'm going to let him come up and share his story. So Marcus, are you there?
I'm here, Susan.
Hey, all right, I'll let you take it away.
All right, thanks for having me on. I'm actually in Houston now. We moved from Dallas about a year ago, but still in Texas, so, got to claim Texas. But thanks for having me on. What a great element to talk about, your path to a healthy weight. For everybody, my name's Marcus Cole. I'm a pilot by trade, 20 years in the military, and the last 9 years as a commercial airline pilot. So this element has been really hit home with me, just sharing a little bit of my story. So as a military guy or girl, twice a year, we are tasked with standards, health standards, so height, weight standards. And usually that's through BMI, through your body weight based on your height, all these charts. And being a short guy, a little stocky, I was never past that chart. I never came up to standard. So what ended up happening was twice a year we had these checks, and guess what? Twice a year I went on a crash diet, and that was my mentality for many years in the military. It was 3 weeks to go, a month in, I gotta lose 10, 15 pounds. And so I tried every diet out there. I'd lose the weight, I'd pass. I passed every one of them. So they work. Diets work temporarily, so I passed those tests, and then over the next few weeks, I'd put that weight right back on. And that was just a habit of dieting is what I actually created. And I thought it was okay with that. That was what the lifestyle was. A lot of guys and girls were doing it. And so what's the next fad? And that's where I was. And my wife found this wonderful program, OPTAVIA, and I lost 40 pounds during the program and became a coach. And I've kept it off. No more crash dieting, no more habits of dieting. So now, as Susan was pointing out, I'm actually creating what I want. I'm creating health. It's not no longer a destination. It's no longer twice a year to pass a test. It's an everyday, every week process. And there's setbacks, but I've built those healthy habits so far that when I do stray, I know how to come back to that healthy spot, and I'm continuing to build on that. A few points here I wrote down. My energy's up. I have more energy to play with my kids. My marriage has gotten better. There's some of the goals that I've set, things I've never thought I would do before. I ran my first half marathon this past January, and I used to hate running in the military, just to be honest with you. Something they made us do. Now I do it for fun. I go out, put on my music. So this program has been great for me, great for my family, and we love it. And this element is really spoke to me and my family, and we love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcus. I'm going to share my screen back, but I love that because we've watched you make that transition to where it's like, and you kind of asked me that question. Okay, what's next? What do we work on now that weight loss isn't the goal? Like learning to set new goals and what habits, behaviors structurally for you, your family, and what you want to create. So congratulations about making that mindset shift for you and for the future generations that you are inspiring. So
Thanks.
I love that. Absolutely. So what is this path, right? Marcus and I both shared, we thought phase 1 was it, and then we go back into the red, right? So let's explore a little bit about what it looks like to go to phase 2. There's actually 3 phases beyond the weight loss phase, you guys, right? Mind blow. And what does it look like to be in phase 2? I'm like, when do you know, right? Because for some of you, there's a scary point there. You've maybe felt like, I don't know. Well, that's what's so beautiful is we've got the structure and the system for you to show how to go from phase 2 into optimization and into longevity. So let's explore kind of the ways that we can. Now, Marcus mentioned the BMI chart, and I already know some of you go on this thing, this chart, it judges me, you know what I mean? And, but here's the thing, it's simple. And it has been just a gold standard. And I want you to know it's one way we can just, that there's some scientific evidence that supports that you're at lower risk for disease from this chart. That's it. It's just numbers. So please don't hold yourself up to like we're not asking you to be, some super, like, look like the supermodels and stuff. We're just saying, hey, there's some scientific evidence to show that if we lower our BMI and we're into a green, healthier range, we have a lower risk for disease. We just agree, like that's a simple way to look at it. So then the ones in the orange are a little less risk than the red. Green's healthy, and actually the blue, I'm like, we address that more as we get into ultra health, like, that's kind of being underweight, and there's that's on our path of creating like optimizing and ultra health as well. And so being in a normal BMI, this is one area that can just lower our risk for disease, okay? The other tool that we use, just to measure, is our waist circumference, because there's, again, scientific evidence to show extra adipose tissue around our middle, like the less we have, can lower our risk for disease. Okay, so for men, it's and how we do that is we look right at our hip bones. We just take a tape measure and measure kind of right below, like kind of at our belly button. And all the details are right in your Habits of Health if you want more specifics on how to do it. I have clients that will say, hey, I don't have like a bendable tape measure. Just take a piece of string, that does bend, and then lay it up against your tape measure. Men want to be anything over 37 inches. Like you want to be under 37 inches. Women 31.5. And all it is again just an indicator of how much extra adipose tissue we are keeping around like our middle. Okay, so kind of that simple. There is a third component that I think can be really, really valuable is body fat composition. So as you're moving towards optimization and as you're moving towards ultra health, looking at how much of your body, so this gets a little more specific and a little more individualized, is lean mass and fat mass, and being able to really start to design a program, because our Habits of Health is designed to minimize, muscle loss, of course, and to sustain lean mass as we reduce body fat. And so you can start to kind of optimize knowing your body fat composition. So there are bod pods, and there's in-body scans, and there's caliper tests, and there's a lot of resources out there that you can go explore that and then work with your coach on what that kind of looks like as you're moving through the phases of health. Okay, so here we go, back to the phases. So how if your BMI, you're below that 25, and that your body fat for a male is 18, female 25 or less, your waist circumference is right around that 37 and 31.5. Guys, you're ready for phase 2. You're ready for phase 2. And this is about moving into eating healthy for life, about moving into the other macro habits of health, of healthy eating and hydration, and then moving into phase 3 of optimizing for your age and your lifestyle, where you're adding healthy motion and sleep and stress reduction and other habits of health to support your optimization. And then into phase 4 as you explore things to create ultra health and potentially live a longer, healthier life. How exciting is that? Like, to think it's not just about weight loss forever, it's really about creating longevity. And I'm not here to guarantee you get a longer life out of this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can say if we make better choices, right, we can create maybe a lower risk and potentially a higher probability that we can live a longer life in a healthier state. That's about as vague as I can make it, but it's like, hey, if that's an option on the table, I'll take it all day long. So understanding the different phases and in pursuit of that, So let's just, explore another poll. Actually, you know what? I didn't give the cue. I want to see the results to the last poll. Sorry, I got my right hand. Look at, thank you, Morgan. You know what? I just got so excited moving on to the next thing here, but here's from our last poll. What do you say when people ask you what you're doing? So 4% of you, I'm dieting to lose weight. And sometimes that word just slips out of our mouth. We don't mean to make it it's just we use it and we go, well, I know that's not what I'm doing, but we're saying it. So it's like really evaluate, like, is that what we feel that we're doing? Or I'm doing OPTAVIA, and not that that's not great, but people don't, and then really embracing the whole full, like, I'm creating and working with a coach, I'm creating habits to sustain long-term health. I'm creating longevity for myself. So I love this. Thank you all for participating. So got another one for you. What is your current weight management phase? Okay, so phase 1. So A is phase 1, weight loss. Phase 2, healthy weight. Phase 3, optimization. And phase 4, longevity. And you may not really know, and that's why we're going to get right now into what is the action to explore, like, how do I know, right? Like, I need to assess my current reality. Now, current reality for some of us, we want to just get into, like, I know where I want to be, but I don't want to talk about my current state. But there's so much power in knowing, and I don't want you to give any emotion to it, but knowing where you are now, because from where you are now, you can set intention to where you want to go. It is about creating, like, some tension and so, that structural dynamics that you learned about in element 3. So your current phase, so like, identify, where are you at on the BMI? Where is your waist circumference, and what is your body fat percentage now if you have access to a body fat composition testing? And just take a current reality and then just identify, what is my current phase? No emotion, but what's your next step? So we get into structural dynamics and we get to identify our current reality. And this is how we move you into a fundamentally different structure to create a different outcome for yourself. So if you are in if anything I said about being in a cyclical structure where you're in this back and forth rocking chair, this call is for you. If you get nothing from this, is to understand, okay, to say, hey, here's where I'm at, but here's where I want to go. And then get really clear on those secondary choices that you can do. What is it you can do daily and show up consistently to create a different and desired result? Okay. And then as you achieve those, the next step is working with your coach and embracing this dynamic, structural tension, and setting a new goal and being like, here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to go. What are my secondary choices? Now, over the next weeks, as we move into the other elements, we're going to be exploring all the secondary choices that support this fundamental decision to create, to optimize, to move into phase 2, whatever your desired result is. And so with that, I would love to bring on my friend who has been on this path, Amber Newman. She's had incredible, just contending in her health to move through the phases of health. I've been able to watch it. I wanted her just to share about what it's looking like to really optimize and create longevity in your life. So you can hear from someone that's, like, working through those phases and what that's looked like. So Amber, can you come off, share a piece of what this whole journey of pursuing health has looked like for you?
Hey, yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. So it's been very fun to reflect through the phases, and it's hard to believe that I'm reaching and have reached phase 4. So lost 20 pounds, kind of moved through that phase fairly quickly. And then honestly, you guys, it's been such a journey of working through that healthy weight. So I really focused on I slept pretty good, so my sleeping habits were good. My exercise, I love exercise, and so that was a habit that I had really built a foundation in. But I really needed to practice on those nutritional choices and hydration. And so I diligently really practiced those lean and green meals 2 to 3 times a day, like the habits that had served me in that first phase, and really just practice them over and over. Some of the other things was like eating 6 times a day, making sure I was getting my water in, utilize the fuelings 3 times a day. It's like, why would I throw out the biggest tool that helped me get that jump start? I really just really focused on making that natural choices and habits for me. And then in that time, a few years later, I really found myself at a phase of looking at the mindset and personal growth and development. And I was like, man, there's some mental habits here that just aren't serving me. And so I really dug into what that was about and focused on my mindset and the surroundings, another one of those macro habits that Dr. A talks about. And so kind of brought it all full circle with the hydration, nutrition, exercise, sleep, mindset, surroundings, the 6 macro habits. and really spent 2 years on those last kind of mental health, personal development stuff. And then this last year has been really exciting of just kind of taking my health into longevity and focusing on body fat percentage, like Susan said. I love to exercise, and it's been really fun to figure out how to fuel my body to bring on like muscle mass and adding supplements and some different things like that to get that like longevity and long-term stuff like that. So it's been really fun. And one thing I just wanted to touch on is that as I move through each phase, like Susan said, is I always would kind of find myself assessing like my current reality, right? It's like you'd reach kind of mastered one phase, and then I'd be like, okay, like where am I at now? What's next? Where do I want to go? Like she mentioned, Marcus was like, what's next? So we're always looking forward. And so I would use the structural tension and then identify those secondary choices that I need to start practicing to move me forward. And so now I just keep moving forward and so at peace with what the future holds. I'm so thankful for the different phases, the education, the habits of health, the community. And congratulations for being here, because if you're here, that means you've started your journey, and that's a great thing.
I love it. All right, let me pull all this back up. But no, thank you, Amber. You know, and I've watched you, you know, she sends over her like InBody and kind of just taking this evaluation, like so in much gratitude of how far you've come and the changes you made, but then always in pursuit of where can I still, and just like you guys, you know, we always say one healthy habit at a time. Like what's one thing you can do? You know, Dr. A talks about like, if it's one push-up, like if I just want to get stronger, then like move it to 2 over time and 3, like we're always in pursuit of just, you know, having more optimal days than not, like progressing like one incremental growth, like 2 millimeters of growth a day, right? Like, is there 2 millimeters of growth today? Like, yeah, like just keep in pursuit of creating, right? Like you can bring it into existence today. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Doesn't matter what happened over the weekend. Doesn't matter, but we are in control of what we fuel our body with, how we move our body right now. And I will just say it's never been more important right now for us to take care of ourselves and do what we can for ourselves, right? And just understand it's a path, okay? It's a path. It's okay if you take a right step or you hang out on a rock for a little bit, but just stay on the path, okay? So 3 key points in creating a healthy weight. We talked about focus on building health. So it's not about losing weight, guys. This is about creating health for yourself, for your families, for your communities. Use structural tension. Use this idea of structural dynamics. If you need to revisit element 3, I encourage you to move to a healthy weight, okay? To stay like focused on longevity and optimizing over time. To learn a series of new habits, which will create new behaviors. If we go back to old habits and behaviors, we get old results. And most of us don't want those anymore. So what habits, behaviors do we need to, you know, adopt? One habit at a time that we can start to shift to create new outcomes, okay? So I'd love to hear from you. What actions are you going to take as a result of this element? Maybe you're going to evaluate your current reality tonight. Maybe you're going to journal out some mindset. Maybe you're going to start speaking about your journey a little more empowering. So what actions are you going to take? I'd love to hear it in the chat. And then how did you guys enjoy this community time tonight? Little like positivity sparkle dust for you all, right? Was it rated overall as excellent, very good, below average, or poor? I love y'all. So just wherever you fall on that, I hope that it served tonight. And just know you can access all of the recordings on the YouTube playlist at OPTAVIA's YouTube channel, and you can subscribe there too. Also, our Habits of Health podcast is available, everything on podcast as well. And you can text 99000 OPTAVIA 30 to 99000 to receive like notifications of these calls every single week. So join us next week, guys. We're here, same place, same time. I love that we built this virtual, beautiful community for springing forward to achieving your goals by my friends Doug and Tia Wood. It's sure to be an awesome time. So thank you all for joining us and have a fantastic evening.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.